Now let's talk about something that everyone has been affected by, the sad passing of so many legends and just beloved entertainers. Betty White, Sidney Poitier, and Bob Saget will all be remembered for the impact they made on all of our lives. This is so sad.
I think we were really sad about Betty because she was only like 2 weeks shy of her 100th birthday.
People magazine had already come out celebrating her, saying, you know, she made it to 100. I don't know about you guys, but I was and still am and always will be obsessed with the Golden Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Like, literally obsessed. So, literally the day after New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, my family and I started from episode 1, the pilot of Golden Girls, and watched it all the way to the very last episode.
Did you really?
Yes, we watched the whole thing.
And the fun fact is, she was one of the first females to have a variety talk show.
Yes.
And in that talk show, she hired a black tap dancer, Arthur Duncan. And of course, during that time, the South was really upset with her having that. The network asked her to not have him on. She said, no, I'm gonna have him on.
Deal with it.
And, you know, of course, she was canceled after that. But shout out to Betty, because that just shows you.
Wow.
Being
I mean, the one thing I have to say is you don't want to leave before you get your flowers.
Yes.
And I feel with her, she got her flowers.
Yes.
She knew how people felt about her and her legacy and what she was, you know, able to bring to the world. So shout out to you, Betty White. Thank you for everything.
Now, Garcia, let's talk about the incomparable Sidney Poitier.
Yes.
Where do we begin? Not only handsome, but intelligent, but a phenomenal actor and humanitarian. I mean, this man was everything. I wrote in my post, thank you for showing us what it means to be great. Because I felt like he was such a great man, such a great father. I remember the day that I was at Wolfgang Puck's Spago restaurant, and I'm having dinner with a friend, and I look over, and there he was. I have never felt so giddy, goosebumps. I was like, oh my God, my mother would die. She was already passed, but my mother would have killed me if he was in the room and I didn't go up and say something to him. And I was like, how do I do it? When do I do it? And then he came up to me.
No.
And he was just like, I just want to tell you, thank you for what you do. And I thought, is somebody punking me? Because Sidney Poitier is talking to me about my work when all I know is of his legacy and beauty. So to me, it was a moment that I will never forget. And I am just so grateful we have the opportunity to live in his work.
I mean, I met him twice. The first time I met him was after a play, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, that was here in Los Angeles. You remember that? And I went over to him and I was just like you, I have to say, I mean, the first black man to win a leading Oscar. He also was very prevalent in the Civil Rights Act. And he just, I sat next to him and I will never forget this. He put his arm into my arm and we linked. And we took that picture. And then the second time was when we went to Tyler Perry's studio opening. And thank goodness for Tyler Perry, because he is honoring a lot of African Americans, and they're getting their flowers. So he did it with Diane Cara. He did it for Sidney Poitier and Cicely Tyson. So I just think that's wonderful. So thank you to Sidney Poitier. And then we have the wonderful Bob Saget.
Guys, so many of us grew up with him as, you know, Danny Tanner and like the dad that we grew up watching. And I actually got the chance to meet him when we were doing I Can See Your Voice. And you know, I never ask people for pictures. Ever. Like, I don't know, I get weird about stuff like that.
Shy.
But I was like, this guy was such a huge part of my childhood. And you know what made me really ask? How cool he was, how kind he was, how humble he was. He was laughing and making jokes with me that by the end, I was like, is it okay if I take a picture? He was like, come on, and like got my selfie out, and just such a great man. So people right now are so sad.
He was just like a comic. I mean, I grew up, he was my TV dad. And then he became my friend. I did my podcast. I did a podcast with him. We was on Nashville Squares together. He is really, but we have the memory of him through his shows.
And can I just say, of all of it, what's the through line for me? Everybody was saying how nice he was. So it goes to show you, people remember how you make them feel, so be kind.
And he never let the character of Danny Tanner affect him, because everybody thought he was going to be Danny Tanner.
And he was a little raunchy in his company, which I
he was.